This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
Here's another one. Chavo Guerrero is repackaged as Kerwin White. Why is this your favorite gimmick of all time? By the way, in the gimmick, Chavo denounces his Hispanic heritage and calls himself America's Great White Hope. You couldn't get away with this these days, of course, but how was this not thought of as a bad idea even back then? I mean, I guess it worked out for Dolph, but nobody else.
Well, I think that the idea was that Chavo was probably one of the most Anglo Hispanics that you ever knew.
What does that even mean?
Well, it just means that, you know, I grew up in Houston, Texas. My best friend was Armando Canales. Armando's parents came from Monterrey, Mexico. And Armando was, as Eddie Guerrero used to say, a Mexican's Mexican. I never knew the difference. Like all I knew was Armando was my friend. I didn't understand prejudice. I didn't understand all these other things. It was just the only difference between Armin and my house was that they spoke Spanish in his house. And I loved him. He's passed on. He passed on last year and just completely, you know, it was one of those, I've lost a lot of friends, and he was supposed to come to our last Chicago show and didn't make it, missed the show, missed us by 30 minutes and passed not long after. And I was devastated. But anyway, I grew up a lot in that culture. I grew up in just as much in his home as anybody's home. And they used to make comments about people that were Mexican, but that grew up in the United States and that tried to be more American and more white than being Mexican, and tried to shun their heritage. And to Armin's family, that was so disrespectful, and it was so wrong, but just so prevalent. And his uncle was someone that they thought was trying to do that, was trying to be a white man, as they would say. And I just didn't get it, because it was just, they were just people, and he was just trying to fit in. So anyway, getting back to Chavo, you know, Chavo is about, you know, his heritage speaks for itself. Best friends with his father, his uncles, and never got to meet his grandfather, but Chavo was raised in the business, and it was just, you look at Chavo, and Chavo was raised in the United States with an American mother, that Chavo didn't come across as someone from Mexico. He's extremely proud of his heritage. He's as Mexican as you're going to get. But it was just a different way, and I looked at it kind of as a heel.
Oh, of course it's got to be a heel to denounce your heritage.
Because
that's
you're
a heel.
denouncing, you're trying to walk away from your heritage. And Chavo got it. Chavo understood it. He's like going, yeah, I know people like that. And I know, he got it and embraced it. I just don't, it didn't resonate. It really didn't resonate with people. And I think that most people were offended by it. So that was a bad call on our part as far as maybe the presentation of it, but it was meant to be half-assed tongue-in-cheek.
Of course.
But at the same time, portray something that is very real in our society.
But I mean, the golf cart, the fucking sweater vests. I mean, this is silly. By the way, Kerwin, that's a nod to Kerwin Silfies, right?
Yeah. I mean, can you think of a more just whitey tight ass name than Kerwin?
No. Well, if we've
Either
often,
that Kerwin or Conrad.
oh, fuck off.
What?
Or how about Bruce?
Conrad Hilton?
Bruce Valanche?
No, see, Bruce is a cool name.
Really? Bruce Jenner? Bruce Valanche? Bruce Prichard? 3 of them walk into a bar. Who books the Thunderdome? Hey, talk to me about White. White is just because he's a white guy, and Kerwin is a nod to Kerwin Silfies. How does Dolph wind up as a caddy in all this? Just had the,
Because he knew which clubs to pick.
oh, Jesus. We're not going to get any good show out of you today. I bet in his college days, he did know what clubs to pick. This one till 2, that one as the after hours. Yeah. Yeah.
It was a different way to introduce Dolph. Just another way to get him. And I think we had moved on from the Spirit Squad at that point.
Yeah.
And it's a different way to get Dolph involved.
Can you
I
imagine?
think Dolph has done all right.
I mean, that's what I was going to say. He starts out as a goddamn cheerleader. Then he becomes a caddy for Kerwin White. Who would have ever thought at the end of this, he'd be world champ? I mean, nobody would have predicted we're going. I mean, that's humble beginnings. That's a success story, baby.
Yes, it is.
All right, let's keep it going. Let's talk about the Go Home Raw. Cena's going to defeat Jericho and Carlito in a handicap match when Cena pins Carlito. In your opinion, I mean, Carlito had some steam and he's working in the main events, but it feels like whenever there's an opportunity, he's going to be the guy to take the pin. Were you guys just not sold on him as being a top guy? Did you think his character could survive it? Does it hurt him in the long run? What say you?
I think that Carlito was definitely a top guy. And his work and everything about him said top guy. But I don't subscribe to, oh my God, he lost a match, he's dead.
Our first match is Chris Benoit beating Orlando Jordan in 24 seconds to capture the United States title. This is an early match, very, very short, probably not showcasing exactly what all Benoit could do, but my goodness, it made a statement. Benoit is legit, but we knew that since he's won the world title before. 24 seconds to put Orlando Jordan to bed. What'd you think of this creative decision to have Benoit go over so quickly?
A quick way and unexpected way to get the night started. And it's kind of an explosion. And just when you're all hyped up for it, and bam, you hit them with that type of a finish and they explode again. It's a different presentation. It's a different way to start the night off.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.